Today I'm going to go electric and review this. It's called a Playdate, and it's currently my favorite video game system. And that's because it's barely a video game system. Hi, I'm Chris Cannucciari, and welcome to Playing Games. Please comment, like, and subscribe. None of those are bad to do on a first date. I try to limit electronic gaming on this very analog channel, so I'm launching a new channel specific to video gaming. There you'll find the same playing games quality and point of view, just more electrified. Please check it out and give it a subscribe and join me on another adventure. This video is going to be on the longer side, but I think it's important, so stick with me if you can. Feel free to jump ahead if you want to see the Playdate game reviews and some free games I recommend. Okay, what is it about this thing? Well, frankly, it sucks. It's small, no color screen, no backlight, so good luck playing it in the dark. It's retro, but it's not meant for emulation. So with all these strikes against the Playdate, why do I love it? Like many of us, I'm disappointed in the state of video gaming in the 2020s. The Switch has put out some amazing original games, but Nintendo has made a fortune on the Switch and has barely given equal value to their games' releases. Just look at Switch Sports. It came out 5 years after the Switch premiered, and it has a paltry 7 sports, with just one measly one to go. We never knew how good we had it with the Wii, did we? Mobile gaming is just a mess of gems and ads. No thank you. And what about the AAA games on the PS, Xbox, and Steam Deck? I just find them all to be similar Uncanny Valley worlds built just to grind out tasks for diminishing results, or at best, beautiful time sucks. And what's up with the endless death in most of them? Sure, you expect it in a game called God of War, but in Assassin's Creed, you're an assassin, so you should have to discreetly target select individuals, right? Sure, but look at this. You're not an assassin, you're a Terminator. I don't remember learning about the Massacre of Johnson's Aaron's side quest in school. A single fetch quest in this game has a higher kill count than the Boston Massacre.
There you are.
You think that's absurd? Look at the most recent Hogwarts game where you play as a young wizard who goes to class to learn potions, make friends, pet cats, and then murder poachers. By the hundreds. As the saying goes, an eye for a niffler. They make us have to kill so much because it invests us into the story. Kill or be killed. And that process is addicting. Games should be games. Fun. They should last a few minutes here and there. But video game designers have been fine-tuning games into casino-like addictions. And beans on toast? I've had enough of it. I just want to enjoy video games without wasting away my time here on Earth. And that's why this is my antidote. It's a dumb video game platform. And that's on purpose. The purpose of the Playdate is to rethink the video game experience by both going back to the fundamentals of quick play arcade gaming and creative one-off game designs. It costs just over the $200 mark, but that includes the system and 24 games you can't get anywhere else. It's an exercise in patience as you get 2 games uploaded to the Playdate per week. That's right, it takes 12 weeks to get all the games you've already paid for. Sure, you can set the option to download them all at once, but don't cheat yourself. The console itself isn't particularly comfortable to hold, and it feels kind of bad with fast-paced button-mashing games, but it works very well with casual games, and the point of the system is to be just that, casual. There are A and B buttons and this novel crank, which shows up in a lot of the games, but not all. The build is pretty good. I had my first one for 6 months, and a crack developed on one side. Greg and Jorge from Playdate were very responsive and shipped me a brand new one, so I can highly recommend Panic's commitment to the community. Having known this for over half a year, some of the novelty is worn off, but not all of it. It's prominently out on my coffee table displaying the time, and we still find ourselves picking it up when we want to give ourselves a quick video game fix without losing hours off of our lives. Alright, enough chit-chat, I know why you're really here. I'm going to now go through all 24 games of the Season 1 Playdate and give you my thoughts. If you want to avoid the Season 1 game spoilers, best close your eyes and ears now. I'm going to give my unbiased review of all of them, from meh to yes. Obviously, there's no such thing as unbiased, but you know what I mean. Here's how the Playing Games ranking works. Each game is ranked on a scale of 1 to 10. This is broken down into 5 categories. Cost value, fun, challenge, look feel, replay. Each category has a max value of 2 points. Get 2 out of 2 in all the categories, and that's a perfect 10 out of 10. Like any great video game, there has to be a bonus. So if the game hits all the sweet spots and then goes one step beyond, well, that unlocks an extra point. That extra point goes into the most important category of a video game, the replayability. A great book, a great movie, a great game begs to be re-experienced. Game design is an incredibly hard journey, and I applaud every single one of these designers. These are just my takes, and if the game didn't work for me, it most likely connected with someone else. Okay, let's begin the countdown. At 24, Boogie Loops. This is a music program more than a game, and I give it high praise for existing. It's really great to see resources like this for those who like to program music. It's a niche idea on a niche device though, and a lot of patience is needed to actually program music on it. It's not for me to use, but I've enjoyed listening to creations made by other users. This music rhythm game got a 3.75 out of 10. Number 23, Battleship Godios. This is a side-scrolling Gradius breakout-style game. You pilot a ship and your ammunition are breakout-style dots. You have to bounce them into enemy ships before you get squished by the endless scrolling screen. It's a simple idea with some twists, such as being able to rewind time with the crank. Lots of the art is nicely done, but there are some unfinished blank areas, and it's a bit too cramped for me. It's a great effort and meant for all you side-scrolling shooters out there. 4 out of 10. Number 22, Aquatic Memory. This is an auditory match game in which you find missing sounds. It's a very simple idea, and they do a nice job of unfolding a story with well-crafted artwork. However, as it gets more difficult, it didn't evolve into any other surprising ways for me. 4.3 out of 10. Number 21, Flipper Lifter. This is perhaps the most Game & Watch spinning top style game in the collection. Spinning top refers to gameplay in which you have to manage many ongoing tasks simultaneously with increasing pressure as the game progresses. In other words, keep the plates spinning as more and more get added. In Flipper Lifter, that is you working as the elevator via the crank to get the penguins to their requested destinations. Nice music, nice sound effects, and good use of the crank. It's stressful, not at the level of Overcooked, but stressful is something that I'm not looking for in a video game. 5 out of 10. Number 20, Whitewater Wipeout. Style, sports simulator. There's not much to be said about this game. You surf on waves with the crank. It's not last on this list because of its casual, repeatable play. That said, there isn't much to work for other than a high score. The alliterative Sneaky Sasquatch's surfing side quest did a much better job than this surfing simulator side-scrolling sports simulator. 5.3 out of 10. Number 19, Executive Golf. Golf should be perfect for the Playdate. It's casual, relaxing, repeatable, and obviously crankable. Apple Arcade's What the Golf took the mini golfing idea and successfully ran wild with it. Executive Golf missed the greens with its novel idea to take on golf, though. You're a golf ball in a multi-level office building. The idea is great, but the execution is frustrating. This is more of a physics platformer, and it's a real struggle to get the ball to advance past the endless narrow spaces and upward. The game has a lot of potential, though, and begs for an update. For instance, if the office objects had physics as well, it would be more satisfying to play. But now, this game is like Angry Birds without being able to affect the pigs or their structures. I'm sure someone is working on the killer golf game for the Playdate. This one is a 6 out of 10. Number 18, B360. This is a fresh take on an old school arcade breakout style ball and paddle game. You use the crank to rotate around the bricks you need to break out. It's a very simple game with lots of levels and progression, making it fun to play a little bit at a time. 6.5 out of 10. Number 17, Hyper Meteor. This is a twist on Atari's 1979 classic Asteroids. The difference is that instead of shooting the asteroids, your ship has no weapons, and instead must collide with the meteors. You can only smash their lighter side, the darker side will destroy you. There are a few other mechanics, but it's super easy to learn, and the music is pretty good too. 6.75 out of 10. Number 16, Questy Chess. Questy Chess is a fun little puzzle game that uses the special movements of chess pieces to complete levels. It's clever, and it walks you through the mechanics. The levels have a very retro feel as well. Once you get stuck, though, it becomes a chore that hampers the desire to return to this game. I like the darker look and feel they went for, but that can become a little bit hard to read at times. The Playdate suffers in dark mode, as you'll soon discover. 7.5 out of 10. Number 15, Spellcorked. This game really goes for it. Business simulations are not really my thing, but I appreciate all the thought that went into this game. Spellcorked's nice character elements stick to the witch and wizarding world better than Hogwarts Legends, and without having to kill any poachers. It's an 8 out of 10 for me, but this is surely a 10 out of 10 for those of you who like cooking and business building games. Number 14, Zipper. Style, roguelike puzzler. Zipper is a game that really knows where it belongs. It's a perfect fit for the Playdate. Its violence is a little much for the venue, but it works. I'll be honest, I initially wanted to delete this game because my guy kept getting killed in the first few rooms. I finally realized that the crank shows you the path, and that changed everything. This game does not hold your hand, and I appreciate that. I play this only for a few rounds here and there, but I do find myself returning to it often. 9 out of 10. Number 13, Inventory Hero. Style, arcade spinning plates. This game has such a great look and feel. It's essentially another spinning plate style game, yet it isn't as stressful as most of those games, and the progression elements are fun. For its irreverent spirit alone, this game is a keeper. 9 out of 10. Number 12, Demon Quest 85. Style, crafting RPG. Hide your eyes if you're a fundamentalist. This might give you the heebie-jeebies. Demon's Quest involves a lot of reading, but for Stranger Things fans, this is a fun crafting game that takes a stab at the struggles of being a high schooler amidst lurking evil monsters. The idea works really well on this platform, and the branching storylines help give it more replay life. 9.3 out of 10. Number 11, Crankin's Time Travel Adventure. Style, arcade cranker. This is the Season 1 game you show to someone new to the Playdate. Using just the crank, you instantly understand the out-of-the-box qualities of the system. Crank forward to advance in both movement and time. Crank back and you both move back in direction and in time. This allows your character to reach his angry date, as long as you can avoid the many obstacles. After the 10th level, things get a bit too busy and less rewarding. I kept at it until I reached level 21, and I'm good now. 9.5 out of 10. Number 10, Star Sled. Style, multi-directional space shooter. Yet another asteroid-ish space shooter. This one, though, really works for me. Rather than shooting in this game, your ship draws circles around objects to destroy them. I love the simplified graphics, great sound, and smooth gameplay. I've returned to this game many times. 9.5 out of 10. Number 9, O-Maze. Style, reflex puzzler. This is an incredibly simple puzzler that effectively uses the crank. I'd argue that this is a much stronger entry than Crankin's Time Travel Adventure, but its simplistic design doesn't have the same flash, so it may forever be overshadowed. I really like the puzzles, simple design, and sounds. My only gripe is not having a menu to return to the levels, and that there aren't branching pathways for when you get stuck on a level. That said, this game is perfect for the Playdate. 10 out of 10. Number 8, Lost Your Marbles. Style, choose your own adventure. And golf. This is a fun game that has different branching endings. My kids love it. Great dialogue and just enough action to keep you engaged through the whole story. 10 out of 10. Number 7, Saturday Edition. Style, graphic adventure RPG. Saturday Edition is excellent. It's a sort of detective story that entails a lot of fetch quests to advance, but the artwork and pacing are so perfect. It's truly a throwback to old Sierra and LucasArts quest games. I played it on and off for many months, chipping away little by little, and I finally got to the end. No spoilers. 10 out of 10. Number 6, Casual Birder. Style, RPG. This is one of the first games you get with your Playdate, and it's a perfect choice. It's something of a Pokemon world exploring game with a great sense of humor. The art style and creativity are top-notch. 10.5 out of 10. Number 5, Snack. Style, arcade snake. What portable device would be complete without a version of the Snake game? This one takes the basic formula 2 steps further. Here, the snake can jump over its own body, and the apples are both sentient and they bite back. This new formula equals endless replayability, and a score of 10.7 out of 10. Number 4, Forest Burns. Style, side-scroller. This is my favorite action game on the Playdate. You're a forest ranger who has to outrun a blazing fire while also rescuing campers, collecting items, avoiding obstacles and traps, and modifying the landscape to get to the end of the level. Rather than levels and world progression, every time you play, a new level is randomly generated. It requires the use of all buttons and the crank. The ranger can even use his shovel like Scrooge in the classic DuckTales game. The one downside with this game is that with all the button mashing, you really do notice the lack of ergonomics on the Playdate. 10.8 out of 10. And now it's time for the 3 perfect games. Number 3, Pick, Pack, Pup. Style, match 3 game. This is perhaps the Playdate's version of Tetris. There's not much to be said, they did it really well. You match items and clear them. It's endlessly satisfying. 11 out of 10. Number 2, Ratcheteer. Style, action adventure. Zelda style. This is definitely meant to be the Playdate's Zelda. This is also the last game you get in your Season 1 catalog. It's exactly what you would expect from a retro Game Boy style Zelda game. Well done. 11 out of 10. Number 1, Sasquatchers. Style, strategy puzzler, turn-based hide and seek. Sasquatchers was my favorite Season 1 game. The developer calls this a turn-based tactical cryptozoology game, and I'd say that's about right. I loved everything about this game, and it works perfectly well on the Playdate. You control a group of Bigfoot hunters, and it's your goal to capture video and images of them to get paid via social media. What it really boils down to is you have characters with different abilities and flaws, and you have to figure out how to best move them to get the victory. You know, like chess, but fun. I completed all the quests and played it over again. It's a great game. 11 out of 10. The Playdate is not limited to just these 24 games. There are 2 other ways to get more games onto the Playdate. They have a marketplace on device where developers can sell games. You can also sideload games that you like from a site like itch.io. They range from about $1 to $20, but most seem to cost $10 or less. Hey Playdate developers out there, reach out if you want me to have a look at your game. From the catalog, I bought a nice bike game called Grand Tour Legends, and a game that I like almost as much as Sasquatchers, Mars After Midnight. But let me turn you on to some great game designers, and one of the things I love most about the Playdate is the community. There are so many people out there building games for the love of game building, and that Playdate allows you to sideload those games in is a wonderful thing. Here are some of my favorite free games. All of these games accept donations, so don't forget to tip your designer. I really like this one called Binario. It's a clever puzzler, which is the best way to do a Sudoku type thing with just ones and zeros. It's made by Pocket Games. A big shout out to Nathan Korth, who's developed several great free games. The Mahjong and Yacht are superb, and I play their Mahjong game quite a bit. The Yahtzee-like Yacht game is a picture-perfect tribute to the LCD game look and feel. His games are just excellent. Heteu Meu Leu's 2048 game gets constant play in my house. Good job with the port. This developer is also responsible for the Playorama, which is a video player for the Playdate, and it's super cool. You may have seen this one. It's the Rick Roll game, also free. I got the free version of Root Bear by Team Root. Root Bear is probably the first game anybody should play on the Playdate. It's incredibly social, and we pass and play it all the time. 2Cell's game port of the Nintendo Game & Watch classic Octopus brings me so much joy. They nailed it, right down to the sounds and opening reveal of all the LCD-style ink just at once. I constantly leave this game on as a screensaver in true Game & Watch style. So good. So what's Playing Games' killer app for the Playdate? Right now, the game I most return to is Tex'em. It's a nice looking Texas Hold'em game, which is my most played game by far. I love it. Great work and well done by the developer Corey. But what do you think? Am I crazy? Is this dumb device just that dumb? If you're on the fence, or you're an owner of it, or you just find it onerous, let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks again for watching Playing Games. Please comment, like, and subscribe. You are great.